Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes and welcome to a recap of night number 55 inside the Big Brother house for season 25. A good Tuesday to y'all. All right, just when I thought this was going to be a completely boring night, not a whole lot of anything going on, we had kind of a big conversation taking place right at the very end of the evening. Early in the morning, actually. We're going to talk about that, but we did have some other conversations as well. So we're going to talk about that, and then we'll lead up to the big one at the end. So first of all, the house guests had been told that yesterday was an early wake-up call for whatever reason, expecting maybe there could be something with all these scary twists we're supposed to get this week. Yeah, no, we didn't get anything. Nothing whatsoever. I don't even know why they woke up early. Just a lot more talk, a lot more worrying about who's targeting who's going to return. All the same conversation we've had for the last 48 hours, and we're going to have for the next 72 hours. So a lot of that, some of it's important, we'll talk about. Some of it we'll just kind of slide over. But let's talk about what did happen throughout the day and into the evening itself. All right, we've got Matt and Jag talking to each other, planning to talk to Felicia. They want to act like they want to move forward with her so that they can get information. Matt and Jag really don't know where Felicia's head is at, and therefore Nicole's as well. Not really sure if maybe they would be targeted by these two if it came down to it. So they're going to try to get in tight with Felicia and see if they can figure out what's going on. They are talking about the fact this next HOH could be huge. They certainly aren't planning to throw this next HOH or probably any more going forward. That time is well done, as we would expect. So yeah, Matt and Jag trying to figure out what's going on with Felicia and Nicole. All right, with that being said, we had Jag talking to Felicia just a little bit later. Jag is saying, I just feel like I'm on the bottom. I'm not sure where people's heads are at. Yeah, I don't have anything going on in this game, Felicia. I'm just lost at this point in time. It's certainly the impression he's giving off. Felicia is coming back saying, look, Jag, I trust you completely. I'm good with you and all of that. She's talking a little bit, not so much strategy, but she's talking about this week. She calls it a mid-season break, which I thought was a good way to describe it. Just a mid-season break. There's nothing going on this week except us just sitting around talking. She's saying that, Big Brother told us this was going to be a week of scary twists. And all we've had so far is a single competition between two people in a house that are fighting to get back in. And that's it. So yes, Felicia speaking for all of us viewers when she highlights that so far this week's been a little bit underwhelming. All right, we've got Jag and Jared talking a little bit. Jared is saying, look, this is kind of a reset. Me going out and then coming back in. If I stay, this is all a fresh start. I don't hold any ill will against anyone, including Corey. No one. I'm going to play the game as though it's day number one. At least he's telling Jag that. Jag is talking about a little bit about how he and Jared, Matt, and Blue could potentially work together. That, hey, if this really is a reset, we could maybe make something happen. I think they said something about they all four could be gunning in the house and really do a lot in the house if they were to maybe figure out some way to have a working relationship going forward. All right, we've got Corey and Blue talking to one another. Corey is saying that Jared coming back might be better than Cameron coming back. That's a bit of a change that we had heard from before, where he really did not want Jared in the house. I don't know if Corey's saying that just because he's talking to Blue, probably, but he's telling Blue that Jared come back probably be fine, maybe a little bit better. Corey is saying that he keeps hearing Felicia's name being mentioned as a target from a whole lot of people in the house, which is perfectly fine with him. He just soon see Felicia heading out the door. Blue follows up on that, says, I'm fine letting Felicia and Cirie just go after each other if it means they aren't going after us. Let the two of them attack each other if that's what they want to do. So she's fine with that. But Corey is coming back saying, I don't know. I don't know if Cirie would actually nominate Felicia. Yeah, I know they maybe aren't getting along with each other, but I still think Cirie would go somewhere other than Felicia when it came down to it. I kind of think that's the case as well. I don't think Cirie's going to waste an HOH on Felicia. Of course, she has to win an HOH before that even becomes an actual issue. But I tend to agree with Corey. She would probably not go after Felicia. But Blue's saying, let them go after each other. Corey's saying that at the end of the day, he just doesn't really trust Felicia. He's a little bit worried about where her loyalties are and just what she would do. So again, a lot of people not sure where Felicia and Nicole actually land if either one of them gets HOH. All right, we've got Blue and Jag and Matt talking to each other. Kind of this new trio that we've had a lot of conversations with these three. Continue to. It's nothing new, but it seems like they've ramped up the conversation somewhat. So Blue and Jag and Matt are talking. Blue is saying that when Bowie Jane refused to vote out Blue and save Jared, that as soon as Bowie Jane chose not to flip, then Nicole immediately flipped over to the other side and voted out Jared as well. And Blue saying that really upset Jared, really got him irritated that Nicole was so quick to flip and not try to protect him at that point in time. And we saw a little bit of that argument that they showed on the Sunday episode where Jared's saying, Nicole, Felicia, y'all kind of did me dirty here. Kind of. You did me dirty here. All right, so she's mentioning that. Blue's also saying that Felicia is really in a bad place right now in terms of not having a whole lot of support in the house, a lot of people targeting her. She says as a result of that, Felicia's been spending a lot of time following Cirie around everywhere she goes. It sounds like maybe trying to get a little bit tighter with Cirie again. I think Felicia, as much as she has arguments with Cirie, she understands that she may also need Cirie and her protection and their alliance, whatever's left of it. So she's following Cirie around a little bit. Jag is worried about Nicole or Felicia, wondering if they were HOH, who would they put up? Again, same conversation he had with Matt earlier. Just not sure where Felicia and Nicole's head's at. Matt is thinking that they are probably safe. These three are probably safe with anyone except a Nicole or Felicia HOH, which they don't know about. But anyone else, they should be good at least for the next week. All right, we've got Matt and Felicia talking to each other. Again, this Matt and Jag, let's get tight with Felicia story. So Matt and Felicia are talking. Matt's saying he may put up Bowie Jane against either Jared or Bowie Jane against Cameron if he was to be HOH. And he's saying he just doesn't want to get anyone else mad. He feels like using that veto or not using the veto. Got Jared mad at him and Cirie mad at him. He's tired of people being mad. So he would go after Bowie Jane just because she is a floater that's not really going to offend anyone if he was to go after her. And then maybe throw someone up alongside. Matt just doesn't want anyone else getting upset with him at this point in time. So he's going to do whatever gets the least amount of blood on his hands. He's telling Felicia. Matt's also worried about an America or a Corey HOH, or at least he's telling Felicia this. He's worried about either one of them getting HOH because he doesn't know what they're thinking, where their actual true loyalties are. And then finally, he's talking about, he and Felicia both are saying, Nicole, we're pretty comfortable with. Matt says, I feel comfortable with Nicole. I feel comfortable working with her. And Felicia saying, yeah, me too. So we've got them kind of agreeing that they trust each other and all that, blah, 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 blah. All right, we've got, meanwhile, Nicole is talking to the cameras while Matt's talking about how much he trusts Nicole or how much he feels good about Nicole. Meanwhile, Nicole is talking to the cameras saying anyone who's smart, if they got HOH, if they're smart this week, they would put up Jag and Matt. So much for Matt feeling good about Nicole, because she's saying, people ought to be going after Jag and Matt at this point in time. She's also saying that all of the girls that are in the left in the house, they need to be putting up the guys in whatever combination they want, but they need to be getting the guys out of the house. It's to the camera, so I think she's being sincere in her thinking on that. All right, we've got Nicole and America talking a little bit. They're talking about working together along with Corey and Felicia. So again, Nicole and Felicia, Corey and America, theoretically, the four of them working as a group together. America and Nicole are saying, we kind of have similar playing styles. We don't play so hard. One of them says every person who's tried to play this game hard has gone home, has been evicted. So that obviously doesn't work. We don't play like that. We have similar styles. We do well if we work together. So they're kind of saying, maybe we could make something happen. They're talking about Cameron and saying that maybe Cameron isn't necessarily the villain that people made him out to be. That maybe it's the other side that just kind of vilified him, and maybe Cameron is okay as well. So we'll see. I think America believes that. Nicole, maybe not so much. All right, we've got Nicole and Felicia talking. Nicole is kind of bringing Felicia up to speed on what she talked about with America. She's saying, and she's also talking about a conversation with Corey. She's saying she talked to Corey. Is that Corey? I think that's supposed to be America. Talked about working together with Corey and America. Nicole is saying that she would consider it if they are sincere about this potential working relationship. But there has to be an agreement that Nicole and Felicia would not go on the block if they were to work with this too. They have to get some ground rules in place ahead of time. Nicole's a little bit worried about Corey, or thinking a little bit about Corey. She's saying, I think Corey may go after Matt and Jag if he had the opportunity, which fits in with what Nicole would love to. She'd love to see the guys going after each other, it sounds like. So she's saying, I think Corey maybe would go after Matt and Jag if he had the opportunity. But Nicole does make quite the poignant saying, I came in here, I'm planning to walk out the door with money, not friends. Nothing wrong with that. She's staying focused on the game. Other people probably should stay a little more focused on the game. And I think the way Nicole has played the game so far indicates exactly that same sentiment. I'm in for the money, not for the friends. Go do it, Nicole. I think Nicole's played a pretty good game so far. So she does mention that. I thought that's pretty funny. Felicia is wondering at one point, she said, why can't the girls stick together? Why can the women never stick together when they're in a house? And it never quite seems to work. And I think there's some mention made about, I got some showmances that Blue's kind of watching out for Jared, America's watching out for Corey, and that kind of affects the ability for the women to work together. After Felicia leaves, Nicole looks at the camera and says, working with Corey in America, it's like making a deal with the devil. And I realize that. And then she has a little snake. So Nicole knows that she's playing with fire a little bit if she tries to work with those two. But if it accelerates, if it moves their game forward, it's something it sounds like she may be willing to consider. All right, we've got Blue and Sari in the kitchen. Not a private conversation. They're prepping for dinner. I think if I remember, Blue's at the kitchen table, Sari's over by the island. But Blue, I don't know if Blue's just poking or what she's doing. She asks Sari, says, if one of your kids were here in the house, who would they be close to? Who would be their tight connections, Sari? And I'll give Sari credit. She didn't jaw drop or anything that I probably would have done getting asked that question. She immediately says something about, my oldest is kind of mean. He'd probably, align with Cameron. She threw out some answers, but she just didn't skip a beat to answer right back. I don't know. Is Blue testing Sari? Is it just a subtle reminder that she knows about their secret? Is she not aware that Sari knows that she knows about it? And so she thinks that she's asking these little tricky, subtle questions to get more information about Sari's kids. I don't know. I just was a very interesting little question for Blue to sit there and throw out. All right. Later, we got Sari talking to Blue, a little bit more private situation. And she's saying that Corey said that he wouldn't put up Sari if he got HOH. And Sari's saying, I don't think he's lying. And Blue says, no, I don't think he is either. I don't think he would put you up, Sari. But they're also talking about Nicole and Felicia, and they've noticed that Nicole and Felicia have certainly been making the rounds and visiting with as many people as they can. So they obviously are a little bit worried about their standing inside the house. All right, we've got Jag and Corey talking to one another. Corey is saying, you know what? There's only 4 guys in the house. And if we turn around and send out another guy, one of the 2 returnees, we're down to 3 guys. Not so many of us left. And Corey says that as well. Felicia said that she's going to target the guys if she got HOH, if she had the opportunity. Maybe. I could see Felicia thinking that, but I'm not sure why Felicia would tell Corey this. I have a feeling that Felicia may have told it to someone else and it got back to Corey. Maybe she told Nicole and it passed through Matt or Jag, or I don't know. But Corey's a little bit worried that the women in the house, in particular Felicia, could be targeting guys if they aren't careful. So that's a concern that he has. Corey is saying that he really wants to backdoor whichever returnee survives. So as much as Corey's worried about it, he's still willing to get out one of the guys because he's worried about them coming after him. So he's saying, yeah, let's just, I want to get whoever comes back in, give them their week, and then let's boot them right back out the door as a backdoor. And he's saying maybe I'd put up Felicia and Nicole, Felicia Suri as pawns. I don't know, but the main idea is we're going to backdoor whoever comes back, which sounds like it's probably going to be Cameron, but we'll find out on Thursday. Jag is responding and saying, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I really care as much about getting out the returnees anymore. Yeah, I know we talked about it. They seem like huge threats, but maybe there's other threats. He says, I'm not as passionate about sending out a returnee as maybe I was before Corey. So a little dissension between these two on that. Corey is wondering if Jared might be targeting Corey at this point. Hence the reason that Corey's maybe wanting these returnees to go, because he's afraid that Jared and Cameron both could be targeting Corey. So of course he wants them gone. But he's wondering if Jared may be targeting him. And he's thinking that Jared could probably target Corey in America. And while working with Matt and Jag, he sees something like that possibly occurring. Jag doesn't think so. Jag's saying, yeah, no, he wouldn't do that. Of course not. No, that it's much more likely that Jared would go after Felicia and Nicole, maybe Matt. He's saying Jared's taking it personal. Jared's going to go after someone who kind of screwed him over on Thursday night. So he's going to go after Felicia or Nicole for not supporting him, or he'll go after Matt for not using the veto. I think he's going to do that before he targets you or America. So that's what Jag's response is to Corey. All right, we've got Corey wondering why they would get rid of Felicia at this point in time, since Cameron would beat Corey in most competitions and seems like he's a bigger threat to Corey. So why would we get rid of Felicia, who really hasn't done so much so far? But Jag is saying, yeah, I get it. He said, I understand. Yeah, she hadn't won a lot. Maybe Cameron's a bigger comp beast threat and all that. But Jag is saying the problem, though, is that I'm really pretty comfortable that Felicia would come after me if she got HOH, and she could always win a luck-based HOH. Some of these HOHs don't rely on a lot of skill. It's just whoever rolls the ball right or whatever. And if Felicia gets it, she's coming after me. So, yeah, Corey, I know you want a backdoor returnee. I kind of want Felicia out. That's what Jag's thinking here. All right, we've got that. A little bit later, as we're getting later into the evening, Bowie Jane's out in the backyard. She's complaining, saying, I can't sleep in there anymore. She said it's too hard to sleep because Suri and Felicia are both snoring. They're snoring in unison. And she said, I can't stand it. At one point, she says, I think I'm going to have to go into the scary bedroom or something, or use earplugs because they're just too loud right now. So Bowie Jane's had enough of the snoring room and is ready to make some changes. All right, we've got Jag and Corey and Matt talking. More talk, and I won't go into detail because it's the same old. More rehashing about whether to target Felicia or one of the returnees next, going back and forth on that. Corey is telling Matt and Jag to get friendly with Nicole and Felicia so they aren't targets, because, again, Matt and Jag are both saying, we think Felicia and Nicole would come after us. Well, Corey's answer to that is, just go get close to them. Talk to them, become friendly so they don't target you, and then we can get out the returnee player like I want us to do. So that's his suggestion. All right, we've got Corey and Matt talking to one another. They're talking about Suri. They both think that they're probably okay with Suri, but they're also realizing that probably everyone in the house thinks that they're probably okay with Suri, and they'll continue to think that until Suri becomes HOH, at which point someone's going to discover they aren't quite as good with Suri as they thought. But they're realizing a lot of people are feeling comfortable with her, that maybe she's not the biggest target at this point in time. Corey is saying that they could probably drag her along just a little bit more because they are a little comfortable with her. Drag her along, probably get rid of her at a final 7. So a few more slots on down the road, and then they'll get rid of a few more slots. We're just about there, right? 7 jurors and then the other 2. So a few more weeks. He's saying, we'll get rid of her at final 7. That should be fine. Corey is then talking about the final group that maybe he'd like to see, that he'd like to work with, which would consist of himself and Matt and Jag and America. Of course, those 4, plus Suri and Bowie in there as well. So final seven, final six. I may be missing someone on there, but anyway, that's kind of the group that he wants to work with maybe going forward. All right, we've got Corey talking about nominating Felicia. Everyone wants Felicia out, so okay, maybe we nominate Felicia. But if the veto is used, if the right person wins the veto, well, then we'll turn around and we'll backdoor Cameron, Jared, whoever it happens to be. So yeah, we'll have Felicia as a backup plan, but he's still on board to do the backdoor. All right, we've got Cameron in America talking a little bit, kissing a little bit. You know how those things go. Oh, no, you don't know how those things go. Cameron in America, no, I'm not Corey in America. Cameron in America. So no kissing. Big old nix to that. No kissing whatsoever. I get ahead of myself. Cameron in America are talking. Ooh, that's a big chaotic drama, huh? Cameron and America are talking to each other. Cameron's complaining that he had told America about his plan to target Nicole and Felicia, and that the words almost immediately came back to him. And I think later we hear that maybe it came through the America told Blue, and Blue maybe told Cameron. Not really sure the path, but Cameron's upset that he told this to America, and then he immediately heard back that, oh, you're targeting Felicia and Nicole. So he's calling America out on that. She said, I didn't do that. And then later it's like, well, I don't think I did that. And then later it's saying, oh, if I said something like that to Corey or Matt and Jag, it was just so they'd feel more comfortable with you, Cameron, know that you weren't coming after them. And so if I said it, it was just for your benefit. And Cameron said, I get it. Yeah, that's fine. But what you and I talk about has to stay. Please keep it between us going forward. She's, oh, yeah. So he's a little concerned about that. America is saying that Matt had said that Felicia had told him that she would target whoever comes back. In other words, the word's getting back to Cameron that Felicia's going to go after either Jared or Cameron, whoever is a returnee. So, be careful about that. We've also got Cameron saying that he really doesn't believe that this fighting that they are seeing between Cirie and Felicia and Jared, he doesn't think they're really fighting. He says maybe, they're a little perturbed to each other. He says, but they're as tight as ever. They're going to stay as tight as ever. Again, he wants Felicia out. He wants to break up this group. So he's saying, I don't really believe they're fighting the way they're presenting it to us. Now, there actually is that distrust there, but I do think there's a possibility they could come back together just for survival mode for all of them. All right, Cameron again expresses a lot of talk about Felicia and how he just does not want her in jury. He wants her out of the door this week, if at all possible. All right, we've got America and Jag talking, wondering where Cameron is getting his information from that Corey is targeting him. America, Jag, man, I needed more coffee. This is America and Corey. Now let the kissing begin. America and Corey talking, wondering where Cameron is getting this information that Corey is targeting him. America is saying, Corey, you got to be careful with Jag and Matt. That there's a lot that they aren't telling everything. Matt and Jag are keeping some stuff to themselves. They aren't telling us everything that's going on. Corey is saying, I don't know that Matt and Jag would do that. I feel like I'm tighter with them than you think they are. And America's saying, no, don't be thinking that. And Corey's saying, well, if you're right, if Jag and Matt are working against me, well, then I'm in all kinds of trouble if that's the case, because now I'm kind of off on my own, and that would not be good. So America giving him warning, he's not necessarily buying it just yet. That may change. All right. Meanwhile, while America and Corey are talking about Matt and Jag and wondering where they are at in the game, we've got Matt and Jag and Blue talking up in the have not room. Blue's not real happy with Corey. You remember Corey put her on the block next to Jared. That is still not going over well with her. So Blue's talking about Corey and America. She's saying, you know what? Those two just aren't compatible with each other. There is no way the two of them are going to last. She's thinking that America, if they get at Corey, America would then turn towards Cameron as her support once Corey is gone. Blue is complaining. Listen to this. Blue is complaining that America has cruised through this game so far, because Corey has done everything for her, and as a result, she's just cruised. Yeah, Blue, you go ahead and talk about that. No one else has cruised through this game so far because of their showmans, right? Right. But yeah, she's saying America hadn't done anything. It's all been Corey. And Matt says, I feel sorry for Corey having to do all the work and then just dragging America along as well. Blue is also saying that America and Corey are playing as one, whereas she and Jared are playing their own separate games. Yeah, you're playing your own game, Blue. Nothing to do with Jared whatsoever. But she's comparing their showmans to her showmans with Jared and saying, "Yeah, we're playing separate games. We're not doing that stuff like they're doing." So she talks about that, and now after all the kind of throwing people under the bus and complaining about them and all of that, here's the big crux of the whole evening. Matt and Jag and Blue have decided, at least they've talked about in this meeting, turning on Corey and America. Yeah, that kind of came out of the blue. Yeah, I get it. No pun intended. Well, actually, I did intend it. But yeah, they're going to turn on Corey and America. They're talking about the fact that they're upset that they basically won the last two comps, the last two vetoes for Corey's benefit. And now Corey has been going around supposedly saying that Matt and Jag are dangerous because they win too many competitions. They're upset with that. And they've decided that because of that, they're going to turn on Corey and America, that Corey and America are sitting too high and mighty in this game. It's time to boot them out the door. And the three of them are going to go forward in some form or manner instead. So yeah, out of the blue. Now, are Matt and Jag saying this to Blue just because they know that Blue is tight with Jared? Jared's going to get the word and it's going to help protect this Fugitives Alliance. Could they turn on the Fugitives any faster than this suggests that maybe they would? I don't know. I don't know if Matt and Jag at this point in time, if they're being serious when they talk about this, or they're just acting offended for the benefit of Blue. In a normal season, I'd say they're just acting out in front of Blue to give her false information. But Matt and Jag and Blue have been decently tight with each other from day number one. They were in the family style, it seems so long ago, alliance together. They have worked together. There's a certain amount of trust with them. So maybe they are serious. I just don't know yet. What I do know is it's going to make the next couple of days very interesting to find out if this continues to be a topic of conversation, if we have late night meetings, discussions that continue between these three. That could make this for a little bit more interesting week of so far not a whole lot going on. So there you have it, guys. A whole lot of talk about who goes, who doesn't go. In summary, it sounds like either a returnee or Felicia probably will be the prime targets come Thursday. But suddenly now we've got this undercurrent that maybe Corey and America are in a little bit more trouble than they think. Corey, you better be listening to America, because she may be steering you the right way when she says don't trust Matt and Jag too much, or it could all be just smoke and mirrors. We'll find out later. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Tuesday. Until tomorrow, SKD 143. Cheers, my friends. Bye.